Hi friends, this is Scott with Real Estate Japan, and today I thought I'd switch it up and do a video of some featured apartments that caught my eye as I was browsing the listings on our website. So without further ado, this first one's a 1 LDK apartment in Kita Ward, and 1 LDK stands for 1 bedroom here and a living dining kitchen area, which is here. And this is just kind of shorthand that's used to denote the layout of Japanese apartments. It doesn't really tell you how big an apartment is. It gives you an idea, but in some weird cases you can find a 1R, which should just be a 1-room apartment that's bigger than a 1 LDK apartment. But in general, it gives you a good rough idea of what to expect. I'll link an article in the description that goes into more detail about the differences between 1 LDK, 1 SLDK, 1 DK, and so on and so forth. But let's get into the good stuff here. So this apartment is a corner apartment, and there's windows on 3 sides of it here. So even though it's a first floor apartment, there's probably a decent amount of sunlight and there's really good air ventilation here. So that was one of the things that I thought, wow, this is pretty neat. I'd like to live here if I ever move out of my studio apartment. But I was looking through the photos and I noticed that the kitchen seemed pretty spacious. A 1 LDK in general should get you a pretty comfortable kitchen to work in, but this one has this nice cabinet area. It looks like a stone countertop or some kind of faux stone. I don't know. But then you have plugs here for any appliances. You have this extra countertop space over here. The stovetop is 3 burners, and they're IH, so induction heating. We have another article about the different kinds of stovetops, electrical, IH, fire, gas. So I'll link that down below too for more info about IH. But you will need IH compatible cookware to use this stovetop. And then this nice huge sink. So it just seems really comfortable to work in. And then a bonus is also, I saw on the layout, it says underfloor storage here. And there's no picture of it from this side because it's like in front of the sink area here. But it looks like this. It's just basically some flooring that you can pull up. And then you have extra storage space here, which is great for dried foods, canned foods, bottled water. If you need to have like extra, like it's good to keep some on hand for in case of emergencies. So that kitchen is pretty nice. It seems very comfortable. And the other thing about this apartment that looked cool was that this the bedroom and the living dining area are separated with this sliding partition. Not that this is super rare or uncommon, but with the sliding partitions like this, you can open it up and the rooms feel much more like flowing. There's a lot more space. It makes your 1 LDK seem even larger at times, even more spacious. So that's the apartment interior. And another really nice feature is that it's only 4 minutes to Komagome Station, which is on the Yamanote line, which connects the major transportation hubs in Tokyo, like Shibuya, Shinjuku, Tokyo, Ueno, Ikebukuro. Everything's on Yamanote line. So if you're browsing listings and then you get, you look at the location and you see the nearest station, but you're still unclear of what's around the apartment, if you scroll down, you'll get to this map section. And if you click it, you get this rough approximation of where the apartment will be. And then you can kind of click around and zoom in, zoom out, and get a better idea. And I think this works really well. But if the map is too small, like if I need more information, if I need to be like, oh man, what is around here? I'll take the closest train station and I'll just pop that into Google Maps. So this way there's just more information to glean here. And then you can see nearby stations, Tabata, Sugamo, Otsuka, Ikebukuro. It's not too far. So that's really close to a major transportation hub. And then if you click on the station too, like you can see the different train lines, and having 2 train lines at your closest station is a very, very nice benefit. Unless, I mean, if you know you're only going to spend time at home and a couple other locations and they're all on one train line, maybe that's doable. But having multiple train lines just means you can get around the city that much easier. Like say if you want to get to the center of the city somewhere near Iidabashi, instead of having to take the Yamanote line into Shinjuku and then cut across, like because you have Namboku line at Komagome, you can just go straight down. It's just easier. It's just nicer to have multiple train lines. And another thing you can do when you're scrolling through the map is you can find places around, like gardens and parks that are nearby, and also shopping streets. So just one station away from Komagome is Sugamo, and Sugamo is home to Jizodori Shopping Street, which is also known as Grandma's Harajuku, because it's more old-fashioned, it's more traditional Tokyo. It doesn't have the same like fancy high-end boutique shop vibe that Harajuku or Omotesando have. And because it's more traditional, it has the clientele are definitely more elderly, but it still has a lot of interesting restaurants and shops, and you can pick up any kind of daily essential along the way. So living close to a shopping street like this is also really nice. Gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of shopping. So that's it for this first 1 LDK apartment. And the next apartment that I want to kind of feature is this one, this 1R, so 1 room studio apartment in Toshima Ward. And I thought it was a good blend of a couple different factors. It's in an affordable range for a single apartment hunter who's looking for a place in Tokyo, and it's close to a major transportation hub, Ikebukuro, and it's also not super old. It's not super new, but not super old, right? There's lots of balance, I feel like, in this studio apartment, if you're looking for studio apartments. So it's going to be kind of small because it's a studio, 1R. You can see that the vanity isn't actually in a room. It's just kind of, it's next to the kitchen, which is probably also next to the living room, or is the living room. But a cool thing about this 1R is once you start looking through billions of listings and layouts, you'll just look at these and be like, oh, that's interesting. Is that the toilet and the washroom shower / tub are separate, which is nice. That's a good that's probably something you want to look for in a studio apartment, because studio apartments tend to be smaller. What the apartment builders have made is they combine the toilet and the tub and the shower and the sink all into the same waterproof room. It's called a unit bath, and that was what this is, the just for reference to show what a unit bath is. Toilet, sink, tub, all in the same waterproof enclosed room. It's not like this is a terrible design, but having all those spaces separated definitely is easier to live in. Let's put it that way. But just, yeah, that's just to show that this does exist. And if you're checking out apartments and looking at layouts, you'll want to just be aware of this unit bath layout. Usually happens in studio apartments, 1R, 1K. I have seen a couple 1LDK apartments that also employ this unit bath, but anyways, yeah, living close to a major station is a huge plus. Pretty affordable rent, loft space, not too old. Just a lot of very livable points to mention about this apartment. So I think that'll do it for me today. I'll link all those things down in the description below. If you have questions about the apartments, your best bet is to send an inquiry to the agents. I am not a real estate agent, so I can't find out any more information about these apartments. If you asked, oh, how much would it cost if I moved in on this date to this date, I wouldn't know. Please ask the agents. I work closely with them, but the only information I get about apartments is what they share on the listings here as well. But if you have other questions in general about moving to Japan, living or working in Japan, I'd be more than happy to answer what I can. You can leave a comment below. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at HowToTokyo, and I love talking about all the different neighborhoods in Tokyo, how they interact with each other, and what you can find in some and what you can't find, etc. So the next time I find some interesting apartments, I'll give you guys another video update. But until then, take care, and I'll catch you guys next time.